Like everyday life, sports is all about taking advantage of opportunities when you get them. That's exactly what Payton Pritchard has been doing this year with the Boston Celtics. The fifth year guard is playing the most minutes of his career, but is responding with his most efficient season to date. I'm going to take a deeper dive into Pritchard's game and show what's helped make him so successful and a clear frontrunner to win Sixth Man of the Year. Given his time on the Celtics so far, you might know Pritchard best for his 3 point shooting. A lot of those opportunities can be spot ups, and so far this year, he's knocked down a ridiculous 47% of his 3 pointers off the catch. Though he showed during his college years at Oregon and now in a larger role with the Celtics, he can do much more than that. Pritchard so far this year ranks in the 99th percentile on a per possession basis scoring out of pick and roll, which is an action he can score out of in a variety of ways. Here, Pritchard resets the offense and relocates to the right corner. Now, with the screen, the Celtics look to run side pick and roll here, though Pritchard goes away from the screen and is now isolated against a taller defender. Listed at 6'1, this might seem like a mismatch for Pritchard, but he embraces contact driving the baseline. Though look at this. As his defender continues to back up, Pritchard realizes he's at the basket, and the result is an uncontested layup for 2 points. The other thing that makes Pritchard dangerous scoring in pick and roll is that he's an incredibly efficient shooter off the dribble, where he ranks in the 86th percentile on a per shot basis, and he can convert these shots from all levels. Here, Pritchard is running right side pick and roll with Jayson Tatum as the screener. Though when you have a scorer like Tatum rolling in the action, he's going to command attention. Here's the problem, though. If you pay too much attention to Tatum, Pritchard has 30-foot range shooting off the dribble. The two Nets defenders initially gravitating to Tatum allows the fifth year pro to comfortably dribble into his shot and knock down the deep three. Now, if you want more scary stats about Pritchard running pick and roll, he ranks in the 96th percentile out of the action when including passes. The scary thing is he can impact these plays without even making the pass that leads to a shot. Here, Luke Cornett sets the screen on the right wing for Pritchard, though the guard gets downhill and drives to the baseline. Now look at what we have here. Three Hornets defenders keyed in on him. This creates an advantage. Pritchard passes to Al Horford in the corner, which would result in an open look, but Horford turns a good shot into a great one, making the extra pass to Derek White, who knocks down the open triple. Not surprisingly, given his mix of ball handling and scoring, Pritchard is also very dangerous creating for himself and others out of isolation, which is an area where he was very efficient last year on limited opportunities. Here, Pritchard is in isolation against a wing in Cameron Johnson, who is 6'8". While Pritchard tries to attack downhill quickly, Johnson does a nice job cutting off the drive. But Pritchard has a counter. Despite being 7 inches shorter, he starts backing Johnson down and creates space getting into his shot here, turning to his right. The move pays off, and he knocks down the jumper off an impressive move for a player his size. Playing defense in the modern NBA is no easy task, especially as a 6'1 guard, though Pritchard certainly competes on that end of the floor. One area he's performed well that may surprise is defending post-ups, where he can do a nice job of competing and holding his own. Here the Hawks get a perceived mismatch with the 6'7 Dyson Daniels posting up Pritchard. So while Daniels tries to drive and back him down, Pritchard does a nice job of forcing him to pick up his dribble. Daniels tries to pivot to create space, but as he's ready to make a pass, Derek White is stride for stride with Trae Young, who is cutting to the basket, which leads to a deflection and eventually a steal. Pritchard's also done very well defending in isolation so far this season. Here he is against one of the NBA's premier isolation scorers in James Harden. While Harden has plenty of moves that he can use to create separation, look at Pritchard here. He stays down on all of them and is moving stride for stride with Harden as he drives downhill. Once Harden does get to the paint, Pritchard lets his center Neemias Queta switch on to him, and the result is Harden attempting a reverse layup that gets blocked. So what makes Pritchard the early favorite for Sixth Man of the Year? He's a dynamic shooter, and while getting more of a chance to show his ability to create for himself and others off the dribble, is one of the rare cases of a player where their efficiency improves with a larger role. On top of that, Pritchard's also shown growth defensively, as the Celtics already have two all-defensive team caliber guards, but now have Pritchard who can compete on that end of the floor despite teams potentially trying to target him given his size. There are other scary parts of this as well, as Pritchard might have the most team-friendly contract in the league right now, And the Celtics have incorporated him more in other aspects, such as taking threes coming off screens, or even out of pick and pop, where he's performed very well. The Celtics are currently the favorites to repeat as champions this year, and the emergence of Pritchard in a larger role will be a huge factor in them competing for banners both in the present and foreseeable future. If you made it this far, thank you. And if you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to stay up to date on my basketball analysis throughout the 2024-25 season.